Introducing Zentrix AI-powered trading signals service. Tired of second-guessing your trades? Zentrix AI scans the markets 24/7 with powerful, proven indicators built to give you clarity. You get 200+ signals every day on 15-minute, 1-hour, 4-hour, and daily charts. We cover Forex, crypto, commodities, indices, and stocks, so you're covered no matter what you trade. And the best part, you get all this delivered 3 ways, every day. Web alerts give you fast, clean access right from your dashboard. Telegram delivers real-time entries, confidence levels, sentiment, and trade duration. And email gives you the full breakdown, including 2 profit target levels and deep market analysis. Just hold $5 worth of ZTR. See what you can achieve with powerful AI trading intelligence by Zentrix. Try it now. And join our Telegram channel.
Okay guys, what is up? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Let me just check my mic is on the correct one. Yes, it is. Great. So guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is well. As always guys, if you're enjoying the content, finding it useful, informative, educational, entertaining, make sure you do drop a like and hit the subscribe button. It does really help the channel. Share it with your friends, and of course hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Welcome to the stream, Raphael. Yes, we can take a look at dollar CAD. Longs for the take profit of 1.4. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Tony Gold, my man, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Sultani, what is up? Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Bashi, as always, what is up, my man? Yep, as Bashi has kindly put in the chat there, like, subscribe, people, if you are enjoying the stream. And of course, drop any questions or any comments in the chat and get involved. But appreciate that message, Bashi. Sam, what is up? Thank you. I'm glad you're finding the knowledge and the information on the stream useful. That is music to my ears. What's up, Mohammed? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Welcome. I appreciate it, my man. Appreciate it. But guys, we've got a lot to go through today. I hopped into 2 new positions yesterday, so we'll break that down as to why I'm in those positions and just, of course, any kind of pairs on my watch list as well. But first things first, we'll take a look at the DXY, USD majors, and gold and silver. So we'll get the USD side out of the way first. Of course, we can revisit it later. So in a quick kind of scope, quick kind of general overview of what the USD is saying. We'll take a look at the perps trading platform. Quickly share that with you guys, the perks and what you can expect with it. Then of course we'll go through some requests and really get into the stream. But as we start, we'll take a look at the DXY, which funnily enough we are on at the moment. So if you are not new to the stream, you probably know that I've been speaking about dollar buys for quite some time now, still looking for a swing to the upside, which is sort of taking shape. We did see price kind of break to the upside, which I did like, and that's really what I was hinting out throughout this week and last week, was potentially a break of this descending channel and some momentum to the upside. Now, it hasn't been anything crazy. It's not like we've seen a big explosion or a massive bullish engulfing candle, which would have been nice. We do have a breakout, but it is a little bit dry. So that's a little bit of a worry. Not necessarily in terms of, okay, I'm expecting price to collapse now. I'm still looking for more upside for the dollar. In fact, as long as we can stay above this area of confluence, nice area of demand, perhaps to retest the channel, I am looking at the dollar flying. So I am pretty bullish. We've got the breakout. Now it's time to see momentum really pick up. And that's really what I'm looking for on the dollar. But I'm bullish. We're seeing price break to the upside. We're not continuing this bearish streak. And after all, this area of demand has held support pretty well. So I'm bullish on the DXY, looking for another higher low. Simply, we've got one over here, a second over there, and there's potentially our third. And if it does go well, perhaps we could see a swing all the way to the high at 100.152, or at least the high here around 98.918. That will be the first kind of major level of resistance, which I do look out for the DXY. But should we break through that, then of course we can talk about the heights of that swing high. But yeah, we are seeing the break of structure. We are seeing some momentum. Let's see if this can pick up. I don't want us to start crashing down now. It's about maintaining speed and maintaining momentum. There could be some nice intraday pullbacks there on the dollar. to look into as well. But yeah, expecting a lot more upside. Now for Euro USD, I've actually hopped into some shorts. Again, I was keeping a close eye on the breakout there for the DXY, and I was looking at that in kind of sync with what Euro is doing. I actually hopped in on the 8-hour chart, which is a little bit cleaner. Again, I've been speaking about this ascending channel in a similar light to the descending channel on the DXY. We finally got the breakout of that, a nice close, and that was my signal to hop into a position. So on this candle here is where I entered my trade. Stops above this swing high here with a little bit of wiggle room, and generally looking for a swing back to the low. But as I did suggest, this is going to be my first target to kind of watch out for. There is a world where we do see some downside, start to find support here, and potentially start to push up again. After all, I still deem the higher time frame trend to be bullish, really, with Euro. So this is what I would call a counter trend setup, which means I have to be a bit more watchful of the trade and a bit more not as lenient. If I'm pro trend, I can be a bit more lenient with the trade, expecting the higher time frame trend to kick in, the higher time frame momentum to kick in. But in this case, I don't really have that to my advantage, so I'm being a bit more kind of watchful of bullish momentum. But for now, still looking okay. Still early on. I entered the position 2 candles ago, 2 8-hour candles ago. So, well, at least one because we just closed actually. So I entered basically when the daily candle closed. So not too long ago, but yeah, we're looking okay. The key thing again is the break of the channel, of course, in sync with the DXY breaking its channel as well to the upside. So that's kind of my green flag. And now I'm just waiting to see if momentum can pick up. If we do start to see some strength against me, I may close the trade early, take the small loss, and potentially look for re-entries. Maybe price makes a move back to the high again and we come back down. We have to wait and see. I like the area of supply we're rejecting as well, so that was a major confluence for the trade. Really nice corrective pullback. Now let's see if momentum can pick up. So yeah, currently in some shorts for Euro. This is the trade I've basically been talking about all week, saying that if I do get a trade this week, most likely it's probably going to be Euro shorts, and we have kind of seen an entry for that. So now I'm expecting momentum to pick up. I'm going to keep a close eye on both Euro and the dollar, kind of watching as they do progress. Let's move on to pound USD. So pound, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one, to be honest. We did see some downside yesterday, but it's still quite corrective. We still do have some areas of demand below us, which I'll be quite watchful of if I was shorting pound USD. We had this descending channel I was speaking about yesterday. I said there could be some nice shorts if we do trade higher into this area, but we didn't. We actually, well, maybe we did just about spike into it, yeah, to the pip, just about. But more so, I was looking for us to come a little bit deeper and really test the trend line as well. So I was looking for a bit more upside, something like that, and then potentially a push down. But we didn't quite make that happen. Yes, we just about maybe tested that wick, but I wanted to see a slightly deeper test and a bit more confidence for that position. But we did see a bit of a downturn. But again, this morning, a nice rejection of the low of the channel. So I don't really have a plan for pound USD. I would say technically I'm still just about bearish because we are still respecting this swing high. You know, this is the last high which gave us this low. So technically speaking, the market structure can still be viewed as bearish. But this was a very aggressive retracement. Pound, I think, is still slightly strong at the moment as well. So I would be a bit watchful of that. What I would like for pound is maybe a push back to resistance, then another rejection. That could actually be a nice trade, because this is a very slow, grindy move down, not really giving much confidence for a big sell. I mean, we could see that happen, but it doesn't look as good. I mean, as I've been saying all week, Euro is kind of my more preferred USD pair to trade, and hence I am trading that position. But yeah, pound, if we were to maybe make a move back to resistance, there could be some more quality opportunities to short it, maybe after another strong rejection at the high. But that's the best I can see now for pound. And again, maybe some intraday setups as we do push into the high of the channel. I'll keep an eye on that as well. As for dollar CAD, this one's been pretty bullish. One of the more bullish USD pairs as of late. I think CAD's been a little bit weak as well. So that's kind of really giving us a nice kick to the upside, because USD hasn't been that strong. A little bit, yes, but not crazy. It's more so CAD doing the weakness here. So yeah, really nice rally to the upside there for dollar CAD. Have we seen some new highs? Yep, just about. We've pierced it with a wick there. So now it's kind of anyone's game here for dollar CAD. Do we continue to rally? Do we start to pull back down? I would wait for more information. I would say I'm still bullish. We've kind of got the break of this consolidation and the retest of it. So back and forth, back and forth. Finally, a very convincing breakout. This, of course, in hindsight, was our retest. And we had that strong close on Thursday. Price had a slight pullback. Then we've had the continuation of that. So now expecting to see potentially the break of this area and perhaps a push into this area of supply. And then we'll go from there. Maybe price turns back down again. Maybe we break through that as well. I would say the move, if you're not already in the trade, is kind of played out. The next thing to do is kind of wait to see what price does here. Perhaps there could be some nice selling opportunities on the way back down. Might even still be some buying opportunities in this area. Let's say we're to push back down nice and correctively. That could present perhaps another buy, trying to catch another higher low in this sequence. So that could be something to look at. But I need a bit more information if I'm going to suggest that, because I'll be very watchful of how we retrace. Can get my words out there. How we retrace. There we go. And that will kind of make or break the opportunity. And of course, there could be some shorts here, but it really does depend how we reject this level from here onwards. So yeah, dollar CAD, really nice rally. Let's see what we do from here. Now I don't really have a setup to really talk about just yet. I'm kind of waiting for a bit more information. Aussie dollar is pretty bearish. Again, AU really being very, very weak at the moment right now. Yeah, so really nice push to the downside. We did eventually see the break of this support level, which really got things underway. And we've actually smashed into the lows here. Oh no, just missed it actually. But we probably will just go and test the lows there now. But I do expect more downside for Aussie dollar. When we did break out this ascending channel, the targets were for the bearish move was a push down to this low, where that ascending channel basically started from. So I still do see more downside for Aussie dollar. Yes, we're coming into support right now, so we could potentially bounce. But I do have a bearish bias still. I do expect to see more downside in the short term. So I'm still looking for 0.635. Perhaps we could go further than that as well. But that's where I'm kind of quite confident with. In terms of opportunities for Aussie, especially if you're still looking to short, you do want to see a pullback. In fact, a pullback to this area would look really, really good. Really confident support, strong break, haven't come back for the retest yet. That would be a smart place for a short, in my opinion. And perhaps at least see a push back into support there. There might be some nice buys off this low. I am pretty bullish on the dollar, but I'm not blind to see that this is definitely a strong level of support, which could give us a bullish reaction. So I would say keep an eye on some buying opportunities at this area, provided we see some healthy rejection. But that's more of an opportunity which would interest me. So yeah, still pretty bearish on Aussie dollar. In terms of New Zealand dollar, well, we had some very interesting price action overnight here. New Zealand exceptionally weak, and of course, if you look across the board against other NZD pairs, you can see the reaction has been quite violent. And yeah, we're looking really bearish here. It looks like we are kind of breaking out this mess, and somewhat of this bearish trend is really taking shape. So how far could we go with this move? Well, I'm not too sure. There are some key levels of support to our left here, which I wonder if we will break through. I mean, there's of course the lows here as well. There's not a lot of support and resistance to look at in this area. Hence why I'm kind of zooming out a little bit and focusing more on this area. I'll probably keep that in just as a reference point. So yeah, we are approaching support where perhaps at least the pullback could happen. We could of course break through that as well. Of course, you've got the lows there, but I don't think we'll talk too much about that just yet. But yeah, the market is exceptionally bearish right now. And I would say if you're not already in the trade, I'll leave this one alone or wait for the next kind of pullback to happen, which could take a while. So I'm not seeing much an opportunity here with New Zealand dollar. Yes, looking bearish. I think there's a bit more downside left. If anything, there might be some nice buys coming up actually. especially off that daily support level. But again, that will take some time to develop as well. So really nice move there for New Zealand dollar, really convincing move. But yeah, unless you're already in a position, I'm not seeing much of an opportunity to get into one. In terms of gold, so gold, we've been, well, at least I've been pretty neutral on this one. Just waiting for price to get to significant levels of support and resistance before I do anything. So if I zoom out a little bit, basically got the highs here around 34.30, and we've got the lows here around 32.60, we'll call it. So yeah, I've been basically waiting for price to approach one of these two levels before looking for any buying or selling opportunities. In the middle of the range, I'm not really interested. That's where all the noise, all the fluctuation is happening. And again, just in general, it's a little bit tougher to find opportunities in those areas, or at least good ones anyway. So that is an area which I want to stay far away from. But if we do push back into support or resistance, I'll be happy to take any buying opportunities, provided we see some healthy rejection. And again, just basically looking for a swing back to the upside or a swing back to the downside. Nothing more complex than just looking to buy the lows and sell the highs, really. Of course, until we get a breakout, then we can speak a bit more about that. But for now, a bit of downside there for gold, but it's really corrective. Not really going to get too carried away from that. Maybe late in the stream we do look at gold in a bit more of an intraday time frame, but as for the full hour, it's the same as it has been for the past month, at least at the moment. And as for silver, I did hop into a short trade on this one as well. Really nice break to the downside. I did say I'm kind of waiting for more information for silver before I do get involved, because price has been quite choppy, quite sideways. So I said I was waiting to see which way price is going to break out, whether it is going to break to the upside or the downside. We did see a convincing break with this candle, which is where I hopped into the trade, and I have put my stop loss just above the high over here. I'm looking to see if we can get push into these areas here. In terms of targets, I'm going to be trading stops and kind of locking gains along the way. So I don't necessarily have a target outright, but these are levels which I'll be very watchful of. If I see heavy rejection, I could potentially pull the trade a little bit early. But the plan is to hopefully trail stops along the way. But yeah, the entry was really convincing, really strong candle breaking through. Minimal wick to the downside, also minimal wick to the upside as well. But a really convincing break of support. And I'm basically looking at this as somewhat of a head and shoulder pattern. There's your left, there's your head, there's your right shoulder, somewhat of your neckline. I'm looking to see if we can go and break through that and get some continuation. And perhaps this uptrend sees a bit of a breather and maybe forms a bit of a bearish one. Of course, long term, I'm still very bullish on silver. I still do expect a lot more upside long term. The plan is hopefully I can sell it to then buy it later on. Maybe from one of those two areas, but we'll have to see. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with USD. A couple new positions in the USD kind of world. Short euro, short silver, both kind of sort of relying on USD being strong. So yeah, we'll see how those positions get going. Again, I will be actively managing them. They're both kind of counter trend positions as well. So I'm not going to try and hold these positions through a lot of noise. If I'm seeing a lot of bullish strength for silver or for euro, I perhaps will call the trades a little bit early. But provided there's some nice bearish momentum, I'll sit in and hopefully trail stop losses along the way. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with USD pairs for now. Okay, a bunch of chats to get through. Yes, we can take a look at New Zealand yen to Colo, no problem. I think dollar CAD was mentioned earlier. Yeah, Rafael, dollar CAD, we'll take a look. New Zealand yen. What's up, D-Mart? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Good morning, Amos. It has been a while. Hope you are doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. It has been a while. Hope you've been well. But good to see you on the streams. Pavinator, happy Wednesday. Hope you well. Aussie dollar had an awesome downturn. Yes, it did. Up 150 buckaroos. Nice at the moment. Have kicked off a trading stop loss now. Nice. Yeah, it's looking good. It is looking good. I do think there's more downside to be had. But yeah, as long as you're kind of protecting yourself along the way, that's all you can do in terms of managing the position. But looking good, Pavanator, I must say, looking good. Yusuf, good morning. Hope you're well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am doing good. Hope you're well. Elmi, good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. Yep, New Zealand yen coming right away. Good morning, Michelle. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. GJ15, looking for longs. Okay, a lot of yen pairs being discussed. GJ, New Zealand yen, Aussie yen as well. Okay, let me go through our perps platform quickly just to showcase that to you guys. If you haven't seen it already, then I'll get through some requests. And there's quite a few to get through as always, which we love to see. But if you haven't seen already, this is our perps trading platform. I actually did a complete video kind of breaking it down and showing you what there is on offer. So if you haven't checked it out, you can check out my YouTube channel, go to Zenthrix YouTube channel, you'll see the video to that. But this is our perps trading platform, which allows you to trade perps here. Let me just move that out of the way, trade perps, and it will allow you to trade at the moment a bunch of cryptocurrencies, but in the near future, we'll be looking to add FX, indices, stocks, other markets as well. The beautiful thing about this is that it's easy to operate, easy to use. You can connect your wallet straight away, any Solana, Ethereum wallet to the platform and begin trading. Whether you want to trade in a demo environment or live, you can do both as well. You can request test USDC to trade with, get a feel for the platform. And like any other trading platform, you can open buy and sell positions, market orders, stop orders, set limit orders, take profit, stop loss orders as well. So just as you would normally trade on pretty much any other trading platforms. And one of the main things we're trying to incorporate is AI intelligence. And if you look in the top left corner, you've got Miko AI, which will give you analysis in terms of risk assessment, market sentiment, market analysis, support and resistance levels to look at, trading opportunities as well. And we are looking in future versions to incorporate this into the chart as well. So there's a lot of components to this, something we've been working on for quite some time now. We're really excited to launch and share with you guys, and we do believe that perps trading is going to become very, very popular in the near future. Pretty much all markets will be on the kind of will be traded as a perp as well. So if you haven't checked out the platform before, there is links in the description to that. And like I said, I have done videos explaining a bit more detail about the perps platform, what perps trading is actually all about. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go do so. There's more videos on my channel. If you go to the Zenthrix channel, you will see the video to that as well. Anyway, let's take a look at dollar CAD, and I'll go through some of the yen pairs which people have requested. Follow the trend. What's up? Hope you're well. New Zealand seat share for longs potentially. But that's a really strong potential. New Zealand CHF had a massive drop, didn't it? It's a NZE pair, really aggressive drop. CHF's been pretty strong as well. I mean, I'll get to it, but I'm not sure about longs just yet. I need a bit of time for things to kind of shape up, but I will take a look. Mohammed, what's your favorite currently? Okay, let me go through some pairs, and then I'll probably go for my watch list as well. But as for dollar CAD, you spoke about push to 1.4, which is all the way up there at the high. Now, I'm not too sure about that because there's a lot of obstacles ahead of us, and it's going to really rely on USD starting to see some strength. CAD weakness will only take us so far. But I think things look good at the moment. You've got the consolidation, which is kind of representing a bit of a bottom. Of course, price has been pretty bearish for quite some time. We've had this consolidation, a strong break to the upside, and it looks as if we've had a retest of that. So going forward with dollar CAD, a push to 1.4 is not something unheard of. We could very much see that happen. But we do have some obstacles in our way, which we do need to break through first. So yes, we could see that, but again, a lot of trading is reacting, not necessarily predicting. We might get there, we might not get there. The first obstacle is right ahead of us right now at 1.387. let's deal with that first and let's see what price can give us. It's a very, very strong candle yesterday, I must admit. Tuesday's candle closed for a lot of momentum. But again, despite that momentum, we haven't broke through resistance and we could come back down today. So if you are still bullish on the pair, you're either waiting for price to clear the highs and look for some retest afterwards, or perhaps a pullback into this area and looking for some entries off a retest of this area. Nice area of demand, strong break to the upside. If we can pull back into that level, that could be a smart place to position some longs. So if you are still bullish, you're kind of waiting for either of those opportunities to start to kind of print. But as of now, possibly, but I wouldn't place too much confidence on that just yet. We are looking good, but let's see if we can actually break resistance first. But then, sure, if we break through that, I would argue this area roughly would be our next major target, anywhere from 1.395 to 1.4. As for New Zealand yen, so this one, of course, had a massive drop yesterday, well, overnight as well, of course, with that NZD weakness. And yeah, we're seeing some real strength to the downside. This was a really corrective, grindy move to the upside. And looks like all of that corrective behavior is well and dusted. And now we're seeing some real strength with the bears. So is this a pullback for price to continue all the way back to lows? Maybe. Or is it a pullback for price to put a higher low in and push back up? Possibly. I'm not convinced either or just yet. What I can say is, though, we are seeing convincing bearish momentum. And if you're looking for the next play, I would just focus on kind of short term, well, not really short term, kind of for the next couple of days or so, I'll just focus on more selling opportunities, whether we get the retest of the low here or perhaps a retest of this area, and then look for some more downside. Whether we continue for a lot longer or start to bottom out, I think we'll judge that as we continue. But we can see convincingly momentums with the bears. We've been putting some little highs recently as well, so that really kind of ties into the bearish idea. So if price would be kind enough to pull back, retest some structure, I think shorts from around 86.6 to 87 looks like a healthy area for a short to me. So New Zealand yen, I'll just be waiting for pullbacks and more downside. I'm not quite convinced about a huge move to the lows here, so I'll be a bit more cautious. I mean, there's an area of demand here. I can see that could be an interesting area for a target. So around 85 could be an area which we maybe start to slow down at. So I can say that could make sense in terms of a target. But let's say if we do pull back from here, then of course the first target would be the prior low. And then maybe you can talk about 85 if we can break through that. But yeah, for now, New Zealand yen still looking pretty bearish. I'm really liking the momentum. Looks like yen's gaining some strength as well. So yeah, I do think more downside is due, but in terms of an opportunity, you do want to see a bit of a pullback before getting involved. We'll take a look at Aussie dollar quickly, then we'll go through GJ on the 15 and just take a look at pound yen in general. We'll go through New Zealand CHF as well. LFTJ hopped into your trade at pound Aussie at a breakout of 2.08590. Okay, cool, nice. Yeah, there's been some nice momentum there for pound Aussie. So I guess you're looking pretty good with those longs. But yes, we can take a look at that as well. Yeah, there was some NZD news which has really affected all NZD pairs. Really aggressive reaction there. Okay, let me go through Aussie dollar, then we can take a look at GJ afterwards. So yeah, Aussie dollar looking pretty bearish. Pavinator looking pretty good, I must say. We've got support coming up, so that could be the first area which we see a bit of noise, maybe a bit of strength for the buyers coming into play. But in terms of my bias, it is still bearish, and I do think we're likely to break through that low. The way I see it, we've been ascending for quite some time. Finally got the break to the downside. Nice retest. Now looks like we're seeing continuation. So it's almost like a textbook, textbook example of this pattern. If you go look at some images on Google of a break and retest of a ascending channel, that's probably what you're going to see first thing. So really nice textbook setup here, breakout retest, and looks like we're seeing some convincing momentum. And the next stage will be breaking this low and possibly coming to areas around here. So if you are looking at Aussie dollar opportunities, especially from a bearish perspective, you do want to see some pullbacks. Of course, we are testing some areas of support and demand here, so this is not the time to be entering sells. But should we pull back, I think something could develop there, especially if you can retest this area. It is a pretty big pullback, to be honest, so we might not see it, but at the moment that looks like the best opportunity available. So yeah, pretty bearish, and again, looking for some more dollar strength. That will really get this going, because this is more so Aussie being weak rather than dollar being strong. So if dollar can finally really see a nice breakout and some really nice momentum, this trade to really get going. In terms of pound yen, I'm not really interested in pound yen. Pound yen out of all the yen pairs, this one has been quite noisy. Equal highs here, equal lows here. We've effectively been ranging, so I haven't seen much of an opportunity. As I've been saying for the past few days, if we can see a strong break either to the downside like so, or a strong break to the upside, then I can see somewhat of an opportunity. Of course, on the lower time frames, there will be opportunities to buy off the low here or sell off the high. That makes sense. I can get behind that. But of course, I'm talking about from a 4-hour perspective, which is where I take most of my entries. I'm not seeing much of an opportunity, and we are respecting a really key level of daily resistance. Let's not forget as well. If we look to our left here, going back to October 2024, take that high across, you can see we're having a lot of trouble breaking through this level. So depending what pound yen wants to do, if we are going to break lower, I'm waiting for support to clear, and if that support does clear, this becomes my first target. And if we do break to the upside, well, I do have a 207 roughly as my target. If I quickly go to the daily chart and map that in, which is the high over there, then of course I can be speaking about some buying opportunities. Of course, not directed to 207 straight away, but that's kind of the long-term target I will be working towards. But for now, let's say if we can get a strong close below support here, I think that really opens up the door to some shorting opportunities, whether on the breakout or looking for some lower time frame pullback opportunities along the way. And 195.370 will be the next major target for pound yen. So I'm pretty bearish here for pound yen. I do think if we can break the low, more downside will come into play. I'm looking at the yen basket as well. It looks like the yen is starting to gain some strength. Not really so much against the pound. Pound's been pretty strong. But if pound can start to loosen up a little bit, yen maintains its strength, I do think this can slip to the downside. But again, if we do break to the upside, I'm not bothered as well. There'll be opportunities on the way up as well. But I'm looking at other yen pairs. They look like they're about to slip to the downside as well. I think pound yen might join the party. But at the moment, it is still trapped in the range. You said you're looking for longs on the 15-minute chart. Again, if I'm looking for longs in the 15, it would be because price is rejecting this low again. So that's the only way I'll look for longs on the 15. It's a critical level of support, so I don't mind buys off the low there. Let me move this out of the way because it's a bit confusing. I don't mind buys off the low there, or of course shorts off the high. It makes sense 100%. I wouldn't look for any break and retest opportunities really, just because I won't get the stop loss placement I want, and the stop loss placement I want is below the lows or above the highs. So entering at these areas will give me the best risk reward and the best entry for the trade I'm looking to take. I can see the logic there, looking for the retest of an area like this. It makes sense. But again, I'd rather try and look for opportunities right at the low like we did here, so I can position myself a little bit better. So from a 15-minute perspective, just looking to play the range, buy low, sell high. Unless we see a breakout, then we can speak about some pullback opportunities on the way down. So whether we are getting the retest or a breakout, there's opportunities either way. Okay, so we'll go through Aussie yen next. Then we'll take a look at New Zealand CHF, pound Aussie as well. Morning, Poppy. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing good. Welcome. Hope you are well. Ahmed, what's up? Welcome. Hope you're doing good. Omar was waiting for a pullback on pound Aussie, but flew high without me. Yeah, you're not going to catch every trade. Sometimes price will just leave you in the dust a little bit. It's happened to me, several times. Or not several, more than several. I don't really know a word more than several. That's happened many, many times. Again, and the good thing is you don't need to catch every trade as well. There will be trades throughout your trading career which you'll miss, 100% guaranteed to happen. But you don't need to take every single trade, to make the profits you need as well. So that's the positive side to look into. Some trades will leave you behind, some trades you'll catch and they'll work out phenomenally well. Some trades you catch and they don't work out too well either. It's all peaks and troughs. But yeah, pound Aussie was a pretty nice breakout. Hey, appreciate it, Basher. Yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It does really help out. And share it with your friends, hit the bell, all that good stuff. It keeps you updated and in the loop of things. And of course, drop a comment down below. If you guys are having a question or interested about a particular pair or a particular trade, drop it in the chat. And of course, we shall take a look. But I'll go through New Zealand CHF, will follow the trend, then we'll take a look at pound Aussie next. So, and if I do miss out a pair, let me know. I am not ignoring or blanking anyone. It's just sometimes I forget. So, New Zealand CHF longs. I like the idea. Price is coming back to all-time lows again. If we zoom out, look at the bigger picture. This is the weekly chart. Price is at all-time lows, and typically at all-time lows, we're gonna revert back to the upside pretty soon afterwards. I'm expecting that to happen soon for New Zealand CHF. So in terms of the buying opportunities, I do think there could be some really nice buys upcoming, but the emphasis is on the word upcoming. I don't think they're quite here yet, especially after the news yesterday, especially after the breakout here and the momentum we're seeing. We very much could go and take out these lows and see some fresh all-time lows before we do see some upside. And even if we do push up a little bit, we do have some levels to contend with, which very much could send us right back down again. Let's not forget, the market is still very much in a bearish trend. So yes, I like the idea of buys for New Zealand CHF, but I think it's way too soon to be trying to time any buys just yet. We are coming to some nice areas, especially if we sweep the lows here again. I think then the buys become really interesting. But yeah, I think it's way too early to be talking about buys for New Zealand CHF at the moment. If anything, I think sells actually look pretty good, just looking to ride that momentum. A pullback, a healthy retest of this area. I think there could be some nice shorts back into the lows. So I do think the bigger move will be the buys, but yeah, way too early in my book. Yeah, so for pound Aussie, we did see a pretty nice breakout. We were having a bit of a consolidation on the 4-hour and intraday timeframes. And eventually price decides to have a lovely breakout yesterday afternoon. And we've been looking pretty bullish since then. So I'll trail my stops to underneath this low now after I did see the breakout there yesterday afternoon. My stop loss was just below the wick here. I did trade it a little bit more into this area. Now that we have hit resistance, I have closed about half of the position because that is my original target for the trade. And it is a level which I kind of do expect to see some bear step into the market from. If we look to the left, this is clearly a level which we're struggling to break. I do think we can break out of it though, so that's why I've only closed half. I will close the rest if I do see like a strong reaction. I'll just close the rest and be done with the trade. What I'm looking for is strength above this, which is not here yet. So I'm kind of banking on that happening. I'm looking at what pound entity did, the massive breakout that's had. I do think pound Aussie is kind of lagging behind. They're very similar currency pairs. They do tend to do the same thing most of the time. And with pound entity breaking, I do think pound Aussie can follow, but I have to manage the trade as I would do with any trade. If we're going to respect resistance here, I will call it quits. So I have closed half just to pay myself because we have hit that level. But now it's up to the market to kind of determine what we're going to do at this area. If I start to see some wicks forming, I'll close the trade early. If maybe next candle closes bullish again, well, we're looking good. I might even start to lock in to stop loss underneath that area. But yeah, I do still have hopes for pound Aussie that we can go further, but nonetheless, we have hit a big level, which could send us back down again. So now it's just kind of what we do here. We're going to kind of wait for more information. Right now, there's not enough. We've had a nice bullish close into the level, and that's about it. We might reject it, we might break through. We don't know. So yeah, for pound Aussie, just going to wait and see. I'm happy with how I've managed the position. I've locked in some gains. So worst case scenario, I'll be out here, but most likely I'll be out before that. Best case scenario, we get a breakout and price continues. But yeah, it was a strong close. Unfortunately, no retest of the zone. We actually were talking about this yesterday, about perhaps a nice breakout and a retest to then buy it back to highs. But unfortunately, there was no retest there. And that kind of happens about half the time. You know, when you do get a breakout, sometimes you get the retest, sometimes you don't. I mean, the entry I took for the position was a breakout of this range. But as you can see, we did actually have a retest here. So let's say if you waited for a retest here, you would have got your entry and a really nice trade off the back of that. Let's say if you would have waited for a retest here, well, you wouldn't have got an entry. So, you know, that's a part of trading, really. If you're going to wait for a retest of a range or of anything, about half the time it will happen, the other half it won't. Yeah, sometimes breakouts just run away, and sometimes they retest. But the good thing about waiting for a retest is that you can be more assured with the position, because if this was a fake out, price would just close back below. There is no trade there for you to take. If you start to see some wicks and some rejection forming on the retest, you can be a bit more confident that we actually are going to pick up momentum and start to push. Breakouts can sometimes be fake outs, of course. In hindsight, this was the real deal. But yeah, a nice move there for pound Aussie. Okay, so I'm feeling I missed a pair out. I'm not too sure. I'm sure you guys will let me know if that's the case. Anyway, no problem, Yusuf. Happy to help. Cease Integrated, my man. What is up? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good. Michelle, yes, we can take a look at pound USD. Are you still bullish on the DXY at current level? Yes, I've hopped into some shorts on Euro and some shorts on silver, so I'm definitely bearish on the USD. But I can take a look at the DXY for you. But yes, my analysis is still upside for USD at the moment. Francis, best price to short gold. Are you talking about intraday timeframes? If you are, I'm not too sure about that. The 4 hour, I know exactly the best price to short gold. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Raheel, EuroCAD, we will get through that as well. Yusuf right now is just hovering around my trend line, but I would like to see it move up a bit before shorting. Which pairs that? GU shorts. Okay, we can take a look at that as well. Omar, were your confirmations for the buy on GJ was a bullish breakout with the bullish fundamentals? No, it was just literally the breakout. I don't use fundamentals in terms of my analysis. I'm purely technical. So yeah, in terms of the entry, it was the breakout. Okay, let me go through pound USD next, and then we'll take a look at the DXY and gold. So in terms of pound USD, this one is a little bit of a weird one for me, because I am technically bearish on this one. The structure is technically bearish as well. You know, this was our last swing high, which gave us this low. So, you know, if you map up the structure, high, low, lower, high, lower, low. So keeping it very simple, structure is pointing down. You know, this is still deemed to be a pullback until it does violate structure, which at the moment it hasn't quite done yet. So I'm still bearish, but I'm not a big fan of the market structure and the way it's had the pullback. So I'm not looking to short pound, and pound has been pretty strong as well. But I do like the intraday opportunity of a short at the upper end of the channel. Let's say if price was to rally back into the channel again. There's a nice area of supply in this area here as well, of resistance as well to our left. I think that's an appropriate place for a short, provided we see some healthy rejection there, maybe some wicks. I think that makes sense for a short, and simply looking for the continuation of that descending channel. Or if we do break to the upside, looking for another retest of the high here. Perhaps a big double top pattern could form. I think that could also be a nice place for a short as well. So pound USD, that's the best I can see for now. I'm not really convinced, to be honest. I quite like Euro USD, which is why I'm trading that one at the moment. I am pretty bullish on the USD itself, but pound USD in terms of the market structure, in terms of the price action, isn't really playing ball for me. As for the 50-minute as well, you mentioned the trend line, Yusuf. I believe you're probably referencing this one, which price may reject and might see some downside. I quite like this area because it takes into account the major highs a little bit more, but that is a valid trend line which price could respect. But I like this area a little bit more. So I would wait for a slightly deeper pullback into 1.353, kind of looking at the bigger channel at play. So that's where I would concentrate my efforts in terms of shorting. Not to say that price won't sell from here. We very much could. And that's where my attention will be. But yeah, I can see prices respecting that channel. It is a bit awkward right now. I would suggest we are just consolidating. So in terms of entries, it might be a little bit tricky. I mean, you probably don't want to wait for a breakout. I mean, there's a bit of an ascending trend line there. Strong close like that could be a nice entry, and that could take you back into lows. But yeah, I would wait for a slightly deeper pullback before getting involved. And of course, I would keep an eye on that area there too, because that is our critical level of resistance. If that does break, I would say the market structure is now bullish again, and we're looking at something like this, going ahead. So this is a very, very important level. So yeah, hopefully that made sense for GU. We'll take a look at the DXY next, and we'll go through EuroCAD and gold as well. No problem, follow the trend yet. New Zealand CHF probably 0.465 looks decent to get in. We'll push out some early buys now. Yeah, of course. It looks like price is doing that because, of course, when price gets to its all-time lows, especially in FX, we're not going to go much further. Of course, there are times where maybe we have a big sell for whatever reason, but typically, a lot of people who are in sell positions, when price starts coming back to the all-time lows, they're looking to take profits and naturally close positions, and that naturally will invite buyers into the market, and we should see a bit of a relief. And that's what I'll be expecting for New Zealand CHF and quite a lot of the other CHF pairs, which is why I've been quite bullish on them. But yeah, after the news yesterday for NZD, that's given us a really big candle to the downside. So there's a lot of bearish momentum at the moment. So I think as of now, it's a bit early, but yeah, I do agree. I think the bigger move is going to be for the buy. So I'll be patient with that. But I will, I'll leave it for now. But I do think maybe next week or maybe the week after, some buys could start to actually take some shape. In terms of the DXY, so I am bullish on this one, provided that we maintain this area here of demand support, if you will. I'm looking at these higher lows, 1, 2, and possibly a third. And it looks to me that we have broken out of this descending channel. So it's important that we do stay above this. If I do start to see some convincing momentum back down again, I will take that as a bit of a red flag. And if I'm seeing the same price action on euro, I'll potentially close my short trade in euro a little bit early, because this is still technically counter trend. If I zoom out the bigger picture, it's still to the downside for dollar. So yes, we've put in some nice bullish structure, and perhaps we could see a lot more upside off the back of that. But at the same time, this is a market which has been falling for quite some time, so I have to be a bit careful. But yes, we have seen a nice breakout. Not the most convincing one. It's not like we've had a huge candle breaking out. So that was a little bit of a not a worry, but just it could have been better if the breakout was a bit more powerful. But yeah, if we can see a healthy retest here, I would expect us to continue to the upside there for the dollar. And the two targets I'm looking at is 98.918. And if things go very well, all the way to 100.152. So that is where I'm at with USD, the currency, the dollar. So yes, I am still bullish on this one. Next, we'll go for EuroCAD and gold. Yep, Harry, we just went through pound USD. If you didn't catch it, just scroll back about maybe 6-7 minutes. You'll see the analysis to it. I'm way too risk averse, waiting for fundamentals to align with my technicals, and feels like I miss a lot of moves. Not really. Again, waiting for fundamentals to align with technicals is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Of course, the thing with fundamentals, it's quite. Same thing with technicals as well. It's quite subjective. People are looking at different things, and people justify different things as a confirmation to go long and short. Others might wait for a lot of fundamental reasoning and backing to get into a market. Others might just need to see a positive outlook somewhere to back up a reason to buy something. So it's subjective. And of course, technicals are very subjective as well. But the thing I would say is just to make things a bit more structured. So you don't necessarily have to wait for 10 reasons to back up a trade. Maybe you just need 2 or 3, and you start from there and you work from there. Maybe you need a little bit more. Maybe you can get away with a bit less, and you can kind of suss things out from there. But yeah, waiting for fundamentals to align is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Provides you a bit more confirmation to go long in the first place. Like I said, I'm a very technical trader, but there's some other traders out there who are very heavily on the fundamental side of things, and technicals are a bit more of a small part of their trading. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to ditch fundamentals to trade more. I think maybe just cutting a bit of the noise down and working from there. Manzondi, what is up? Long time no link. Yeah, feels super good to be back. Good to have you. Hope you've been well. But good to see you on the stream. A few people that haven't been for a while are showing their faces again. Love to see it. Ilolo, hope I'm saying that correctly. Good morning, hope you're well. Yesterday's trade on CAD Yen hit I'll take profit level. Nice, thanks for the powerful analysis. No problem. I'm actually not trading CAD Yen short. I'm looking to trade CAD Yen short if we can continue lower. But yeah, we are starting to see some momentum. I'm looking at the yen basket. It looks like yen is starting to gain some strength. So I think CAD Yen shorting actually looks really, really good. Yusuf, no problem. Happy to help. I'm putting in some longs for Euro, Pound, Aussie, NZD when there are minor pullbacks in the DXY. Okay. I might be taking some positions against me because I'm actually short Euro at the moment. Frank Yen, okay, yep, we can take a look. Pound CAD as well, sure thing. Euro CAD and gold I need to get through first. So Euro CAD's been an interesting one. Very, very bullish, created new highs recently. Looks like we're about to push back into highs again and perhaps create some new ones. Now, I'm not really convinced with Euro CAD. I know it's a very kind of clear-cut uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. Price has been trending very, very well. But now that we have cleared these highs again, now's not really the time to be starting to look to plaster on the buys. Last time we took out highs, we consolidated, had a pretty big dive, took out this high, sort of the same pattern happen again, big dive to the downside. So I'm getting ready for us to potentially do something like that again. We are in this ascending channel, and sooner or later, I do think we'll go for a bit of a drop. And typically when price is in an ascending channel, it's a sign that the trend is starting to tire and perhaps getting ready to break lower. So I will be quite careful with EuroCAD buys, especially where we're trading right now. If you're intraday, like on 15-minute chart, I think there's opportunities there for the day. And not looking to take it anything crazy. Push back to the high there makes sense. In terms of an entry, might have missed it, but I would say it looks like support here is holding really well. If we were to come back down for whatever reason, I think that could be a nice place to pick up some longs. Looks to me that higher lows have been very consistent. So if we can respect support, I would expect price to hold, especially if we can see some healthy rejection there. And a push back to highs would make a lot of sense. So EuroCAD intraday, yes, very bullish. Expecting pushback to 1.617794 from a 15-minute chart, intraday chart. I wouldn't be looking for anything crazy. I do think we can break and see a new high, yes, but I wouldn't bank on a crazy bullish move. Number one, we already look quite tired here. And number two, just taking out some major highs. So I do think at some point we will go for a bit of a sell. So be prepared for that. But yes, in terms of the current trend, the current bullish structure, still being respected really well. So it looks like we probably still could see another drive back to highs and maybe some new ones. But I'll keep it short and sweet. I won't look for a big swing trade. Not at this location. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with EuroCAD. Oh, okay. These were long, so just short for other pairs. Oh, okay, okay. And no worries, cease integrated. If you do want to take some positions against me, you can do that. Of course, I don't win every trade, so you'll be right sometimes. I'm just joking. But yeah, I'm still bullish on the dollar, so as long as I'm still seeing that progression on the DXY, I'm still bullish. If I do start to see price break structure back down again, I will probably close my euro position and then reinvestigate. Omar, you currently waiting for a buy or sell on a minor pair? No, not at the moment. Yeah, not at the moment. I was looking at pound NZD and Euro Aussie for buys. Those are the two pairs outside the USD pairs I was looking at. I mean, if you consider the yen pairs a minor pair, then there's a couple I'm kind of waiting for, but not this week. I think they'll probably set up during next week at some point. We can discuss that later in a bit once I go through some more requested pairs. But yeah, not really anymore because Euro Aussie kind of left me behind. Pound NZD's left me behind. So yeah. Okay, take care, Bashi. Have a good one. We'll catch you later. Appreciate for tuning in and all the kind messages you did drop. Appreciate that. But have a good one, my man. Take care. Okay, so let's go through gold. So what's the best level to short from? So if you're talking about on a 4-hour time frame, I would suggest 34.40 or 34.30 as the best level for a short. 4-hour daily, that's where I look to try and take a trade. When price is ranging, I want to be at the highs or at the lows. So if I'm looking for a short, it's got to be at the top. You know, the thinking I have when we're on a range is, you know, try and find the highest point for a sell. That's really what I want to be thinking. And when I'm looking to buy, I'm trying to find the lowest point for a buy. Those are the best places to find opportunities. In the middle is where you get all the noise and all the chaos. That's really where I want to stay away from. So in terms of shorting, 34.30, 34.40 is really the area of focus. Intraday, I can see there's somewhat of a bearish trend maybe starting to develop here. I'm not so entirely convinced. But if I'm going to take a short, it would be up at the highs here in that area of demand, supply, sorry, where we can see probably a bit of a reaction. I wouldn't bank on a huge continuation, but there is some consistency with the lower highs, which we can take advantage of on the low time frames, provided we see some healthy rejection there. I probably wouldn't try and even push it all the way to support, but there could be some shorts there to look into. I think this could actually be a nice target as well. So yeah, if you're talking about intraday, around 33, 35. If you're talking more of a swing bias, 34.40. Okay, so we'll take a look at yeah, we forgot. We'll take a look at Swiss yen, and then we'll go through pound CAD. Yeah, Zan, I've got other pairs to go through, other requests which have been mentioned before you. So I'll go through those first, and I'll take a look at pound CAD. But next, we'll take a look at Swiss yen. So yeah, with CHF JPY, there's not a lot to report here. We've just been ranging back and forth, back and forth. I will take a look at the yen basket quickly as well. But this has just been ranging, and as I said, coming into the week, I think the main thing we're waiting for is the breakout in terms of direction. Is price just forming a low here potentially to continue this uptrend? Maybe that's the case. And if that is the case, what I want to see is a strong break to the upside, clearing the high of that range. If I see a strong close there, then that makes me quite bullish. And either taking the buys on the breakout or waiting for a retest, I think is a smart move. And then targets, you've got 186 roughly at the high. On the other side of the coin, if price does break to the downside, well, we're starting to really establish a bit of a bearish trend here. And I would suggest pullbacks and shorts look good. We've got some highs here to talk about. That's the previous all-time high at 180. You've got some highs here around 177, which look interesting as a target as well. And of course, let's not forget this move here, this rally has been very, very aggressive. The market is number one at all-time highs right now, and number two, very overextended. So if we do start to see some bearish structure come into play, I do think we can see a pretty big drop. Not only is the market stretched, but we've never been at these heights before. So naturally, we should see a lot of selling pressure kick in. But that would rely on us breaking out of this consolidation to the downside well. And as I suggested, looking for pullbacks along the way make the most sense. But at the moment, Swiss yen is just ranging here, so I don't see much of an opportunity. I did speak about just retesting the highs for some shorts and retesting the lows for some longs. If you're looking just to take advantage of some range play, shorts at the highs, buys at the lows, makes sense. We actually did see that happen yesterday. Price came back into the high again. Nice reaction. Did see a nice sell-off there. So if you're just looking to take advantage of some short-term moves, I think that's where your focus will be. If you're looking at a bit more of a swing trade, you're waiting for the breakouts to kind of find out the likely direction there for Swiss yen. In terms of the yen basket, just because we're on the yen right now, in terms of the yen basket, I'm quite liking the strength we're seeing there. We are finding resistance here, but we have seen some nice strength recently for the yen, which is indicating that perhaps this could be a higher low. So impulse here, breaking out that range. This is creating a new high. Perhaps this is a new higher low for price to continue back to highs and maybe so on and so forth. So if this is the yen basket putting in a new higher low, then you could expect to see a lot more strength for the yen, and that would translate to a lot of the yen pairs seeing some downside. So pound yen pushing down, euro pushing down, euro yen pushing down, sorry, CAD yen, Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, you name it, Swiss yen as well. So if we do see momentum continue to pick up, last 4 hour candle we did struggle, bit of a wick there to the upside, so we are finding it difficult at the moment, but it looks to me that we are forming a higher low. So if we do see a strong break, I think that will really open up the floodgates, and the next big target would be 65.60 and possibly beyond that as well. And if we do push up, Swiss yen is likely to push down, and of course that goes for other yen pairs as well. And if we take a look at pound CAD, so pound CAD pretty bullish, but still in resistance, so I'm not quite convinced about anything just yet. If I go to the daily chart and zoom out, this is still a very major level of resistance here. So the only thing that makes sense to me at the moment is looking for some selling opportunities. I wouldn't look to try and buy it in this location. If of course price was to have a big breakout, that's something else. Yes, buys would make sense, but if price starts to stall here and reject well, then yeah, I think we could be talking about some nice shorts. Perhaps back into support around 183, 171. We did have a bit of a rejection the past couple of days. It didn't really amount to much. We're back at resistance again. Perhaps price is going to form a bit of a double top before we do start to sell off. So I would wait for a bit of development here, more momentum coming in. Could even wait for a break of this low before shorting as well if you really want to wait for confirmation, really want to wait for momentum to be on your side. But I would keep an eye for a double top. The only opportunity I see which makes sense is shorting opportunities. I know we have been pretty bullish here, but this is not the place for a buy. If we are going to buy, let's wait for a breakout and then talk about pullbacks afterwards. then yeah, then the buys make sense. So yeah, that is where I'm at with pound cat. What's up, Sultani? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing good. So I'm going to go through my watch list quickly. I mean, my watch list for the remainder of the week. There's not much on it because I am in 3 positions, so I'm not really looking to take another unless it's kind of uncorrelated to any of the pairs I'm in. But I'll go through my watch list and then I'll share any opportunities I'm looking to take. So in terms of USD, because I am in kind of 2 USD pairs, I'm in, of course, Euro USD and silver, a commodity, but they are both quite affected by USD. So I'm not really looking to take another USD pair until at least one of them is break even. But I have quite liked dollar CHF, and I still do think that's a USD pair, which really hasn't got going yet. CHF's been a bit strong. USD hasn't really seen much upside, and for the time being, it has been consolidating. And especially the level it's been trading on is a pretty significant level of support and resistance. You can see support over there, briefly over there as well, resistance there too, and we've just been moving sideways for the past few days. So if we are going to find support here, I do think there's a pretty big up move to be had, provided we hang on to this level. So I do like the buying opportunities, but like I just mentioned, because I am short euro, I'm already taking advantage of potential USD strength if it does come into the market. So there's no need for me to double up on that, because we're likely going to see both of those trades fail or both of the trades work. So I'm not going to be looking to take dollar CHF as well, but if I wasn't trading euro dollar, I would be getting ready for hopefully a breakout opportunity there for dollar CHF. But yeah, as I said, I'm currently short on euro, which I entered on the 8-hour charts yesterday. And again, I'm going to keep a close eye on this position because I'm banking on momentum continuing after the breakout of this ascending channel. You can see the breakout there, sort of like a retest. And that was my candle for entry with some stops just above the high. If I do see a strong close going against me, then I'll probably close the trade early and just look to re-enter if things do pick up again. Especially when you do wait for breakout opportunities, especially waiting for like a break of an ascending channel. You don't really want to stay in the trade if price is going to pick up momentum against you, because maybe the momentum on the breakout was never there in the first place. And waiting for a breakout, you're kind of relying on momentum. So if that isn't there, the trade isn't there really. If I'm kind of just shorting from like a key level, then I can kind of stay in the trade provided price stays above that key level. But this is not really that type of trade. So I'm going to keep a close eye on euro. At the moment, happy with the position. We haven't really seen momentum kick in, so that's the key thing I want to see really develop. Same thing for the DXY. But yeah, I'm going to monitor this one on the 8-hour chart. That's the time frame I did enter the trade. So this candle still has another 2 hours and 48 minutes before it does close, but we'll see. And of course, this is relying on DXY finding support in this area and breaking to the upside as well. And of course, the other trade I'm in, which relies on USD to a degree as well, is some shorts on silver. Really strong candle on the 4-hour chart there, which broke us to the downside. Now I'm looking for us to kind of continue lower, and this being the lower high. And of course, pound Aussie, which I've been in for a couple of weeks now, that's looking okay, but my focus is what we do here. If I do start to see some rejection, I will close the trade early, because we are at the top of the range. So I don't want to dilly-dally here. It's either we're showing signs of a breakout or we're not. And if we're not, my time with pound Aussie has come to a close. In terms of other pairs I'm keeping a close eye on, now that we have seen a break to the downside, New Zealand CAD is on the watch list, but as I mentioned, this is probably more of a trade for next week or maybe in the week after, because we've just seen a fresh break of this low. The daily candle hasn't really closed yet, but it looks to me that we're starting to bleed lower. So I do think in due time, you can see a push into this area and maybe even this area. So I quite like the shorts. I quite like what I'm seeing here. It looks to me that This range is finally coming to an end. We've kind of been breaking down, breaking back up again, but nothing convincing. But now that we've got this candle here, especially after the NZD news, I think that momentum is a bit of a statement to say, okay, the sellers are in town, have taken charge, and we're likely to start trending lower. I think I would at least wait for the daily candle to close. It still has about 10 hours left before it does close. We could pull back, which would not be a good sign. But if we can close somewhere where we're trading around now, I think that's a convincing candle enough on the daily chart. So the plan would be looking for some pullbacks and continuations. First opportunity would, of course, be a retest of this level, seeing what we can do, then some shorts off the back of that. Or if we have a deeper pullback, I quite like the retest of this area and then a continuation. And in terms of targets, as I mentioned, 0.8, 0.787, both of them look very, very good there as well. So I quite like what I'm seeing with New Zealand CAD. I do think we're starting to pick up in terms of the breakout. Now I'm kind of just waiting for momentum, but I think this is more of an opportunity for like next week, maybe even the week after as well. I at least want to get the candle closure. If we do pull back, and let's say we leave a big wick here, and this candle does pull back above support, then I wouldn't really be so interested, to be honest. We might respect support again and push back up. So yeah, if that was to happen, I wouldn't be interested. But if we do close below, I think there's something there to be had. Hey, Casper Rio, long time no see. What is up? Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're well. Quite a few people coming into the stream that haven't been in the stream for a while. But glad to have you on the stream. Yusuf, please, which correlation do you use to determine GBP strength or weakness for pound JPY? Use the yen basket to see yen strength and weakness. Yeah, I don't really do that, to be honest, Yusuf, to be honest. In terms of strength or weakness, I kind of just look at the pound pairs in general. So I'll go through pound yen, pound CAD, pound USD, pound Swiss, pound NZD, pound Aussie, and kind of just get a rough feel of pound off those pairs. In terms of like correlation and in terms of correlation, just looking at strength and weakness of a currency, there's only two that I kind of really look at, and that is the yen and USD, so the DXY, and then of course the yen basket as well. So yeah, interestingly enough, I don't actually look at any kind of, I mean, there's probably like a pound basket you can probably find. Hey, what's up, Mo? Welcome to the stream. Long time. Hope you're doing good. Welcome, welcome. S&P 500. Yes, we can take a look at that. Haven't actually gone through any of the indices actually at the moment. So yeah, we can take a look at that. But yeah, I'm sure there's a pound basket you can probably find. If you type it up, I mean, I'll have to check now. GBP basket. What's the pound? Is it GXY? No. Yeah, BXY. Yeah, I mean, there's the British pound currency index there, which you could use, and again, that's going to give you the relative strength of what pound is doing. But yeah, to be honest, I just look at the pound pairs, to be honest, and get a summary off that. So it's only the yen and the USD where I'll look at exclusive markets. But you could use the pound index there as well, which is just BXY. But nothing that I use actually. Anyway, let's take a look at the S&P 500, which was a very surprising move. I wasn't expecting that yesterday. I was pretty bullish on the S&P, NAS as well, but we took a big dive yesterday. What's up, Lebsy? Welcome to the stream. Ever dabbled in synthetic indices? No, I have not. I have not dabbled in that. Have you? Don't know many people that do trade those markets, to be honest. Uh, Hulumisa. I'm definitely saying your name incorrectly, but dollar yen. Yes, we can take a look at that. Yes, all is well. Thank you, thank you. Hope everything is well with you as well. Good to have you on the stream. Thoughts on the DXY? Okay, we can have a quick look at that as well. But yeah, I'll go for the S&P and dollar yen too. No problem, Yusuf. Happy to help. So yeah, in terms of the S&P 500, so I was pretty bullish with this one yesterday. I quite like the possibility of a retest of this area. I did say we were pretty corrective on the way down, so I quite like how slow we were. But then, of course, we had this big candle which closed. I mean, it's not a huge candle, but it was a pretty aggressive one yesterday afternoon, which hasn't really changed much in terms of the direction of the market. We are still quite bullish, but because of how aggressive it was, I would be cautious with the buys as we do approach this area again. I wouldn't be too surprised if we push back up, find resistance, and make our way back down. After all, these were the prior all-time highs for the S&P. We just created some new ones recently, of course. But we've been quite corrective since that's happened, basically forming a consolidation. Now that price is aggressively broken down, yes, we are testing a nice area of demand, which potentially could give us another swing. And that was kind of the plan yesterday. But because of how aggressive it was, this area could be a bit of a problem. I'm not saying buys here are not good anymore. They still do look good. But yesterday I was saying should see a pretty clean sweep back to highs. Now I'm not too sure if we do drop back down again. And of course, that just means keep an eye out on the position. Let's say if you do get buys here and price makes its way there and starts to find rejection, you can trail stops, you can lock in some gains. Just keep an eye on the trade. And of course, that can happen in any situation, but keep an eye on the trade. Yesterday was looking a little bit smoother. Now I do worry. And in terms of shorts, if you're looking to short the S&P, that's where my focus would be, a retest of this kind of range here where all that momentum came from. But if I was to drop down to the hourly chart, looks like momentum's starting to pick up, but overall still quite corrective. Maybe a nice double bottom could look good there and a strong close. That could be a nice little entry. And then, yeah, you got some targets there on 64.36 to watch out for. And then if you're looking to short, that's kind of where you're looking for your opportunities as well. But yeah, that's kind of my take for the S&P. It might be time for us to retrace again since we have created new all-time highs. So that kind of does make sense to me. But this is still a very nice level of demand. Really powerful move to the upside. Looking to see if we can repeat that again. Okay, we'll take a look at dollar yen next. Haven't actually looked at that pair today. Stex, which chart in the center there, the pair and the time frame. If you do want me to make it a little bit brighter, let me know if you can't see it, but it is in the middle. Synthetic never makes sense to me. Yeah, I mean, it's a market I've never really looked into, to be honest. I've never really looked into it, let alone attempted to trade it. Okay, starting to looking into them, finding them interesting. And one thing that I like is that no fundamentals to worry about. Just pretty, yeah, I mean, that's a positive aspect. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the pairs I'm trading. I mean, something I'm looking into a bit more now is trading perps at the moment. So that's a different kind of market which I'm getting into, but I'm quite happy with forex markets and trading CFDs. But in terms of perps, I think that's an interesting market to get involved in at the moment. But yeah, synthetics I've never really looked into, to be honest. No problem, Mo. Happy to help. So yeah, dollar yen has been quite flat. Just a lot of consolidation here. It hasn't really provided much opportunities unless you're kind of looking to buy and sell these miniature ranges we're kind of trading in. But I am somewhat bullish, but I'm starting to relax that bias a little bit after seeing what the yen is doing. Let's say if we do get a strong drop to the downside like this, kind of mirroring what we did off the back of NFP, I think we could still probably find some buys off this area here, because I quite like this trend line connecting the dots there. 1, 2, 3. I still think that's a nice place for a buy, but I would worry coming back into this range that we do find resistance and perhaps continues lower. So I would be a bit cautious of that, because this is just a really ascending, really choppy ascending uptrend, which at some point, that's quite funny. At some point, I do think it's going to end and break lower. So I am pretty much bearish longer term for dollar yen. I do see us coming back to these lows and probably a lot further as well. So I am bearish long term. But I'm not too sure when that kind of momentum is going to kick in. It could be now, it could be maybe next month, it could be the month after potentially. So in terms of buying opportunities, I quite like what I'm seeing here, especially now that we're away from the range, maybe taking out some of these weaker lows here as well. So I quite like the buy coming into this area of demand, strong up move. We've got the trendline confluence back in the trade. I think this is a central place for a buy around 145, pretty big psychological level as well. And let's say if you do see a strong move to the downside, this range will become a nice area of supply. Perhaps you could see a retest and a continuation, which does give us the breakout that really gets us going. So from a seller's perspective, that makes sense too. But at the moment, I would argue that dollar in a range, there might be some short-term buys and sells within that, especially intraday, to take advantage of those kind of fluctuations. But in terms of a swing, if that's where your focus is, if you're looking for a bit more of a swing trade, then these are kind of the two areas I'll focus my efforts a little bit more into, at least for now anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what my take is for dollar yen at the moment. Okay, so we'll take a look at the DXY next for Kasparia. What's up, Malik? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I'm good. Thank you for asking. Yusuf, Euro, UJ, Gold 15. Okay, no problem. Okay, so let's take a look at DXY. So DXY, I am bullish. We recently saw a breakout, not the most convincing breakout, I must admit. But price did manage to break out of that ascending channel. That's what I've been talking about all week, really. Because price has been descending here. We're coming into an area where we could put a higher low in. It suggests that if we can see a convincing break to the upside, that's going to be my catalyst to get bullish on the dollar and start to anticipate some more upside. So we did see that happen yesterday. Not the most convincing manner, which was the slight kind of red flag or issue about it, but it was a nice breakout. So the key thing is now staying with this breakout and the market staying broken out. If you will. I don't want to see evidence of us breaking back inside. That's a bit of a red flag, and perhaps that is a lower high for us to push lower. So I don't want to see that happen. Now that we have broken to the upside, now the goal is to stay to the upside and start to see some strength come back in, and that could take dollar back to 98.918, which is the high here. And if things go very well, perhaps we just see this bullish structure continue and perhaps a push back to highs, and that would involve a lot more strength there for the dollar. So I'm pretty bullish with the USD going forward. I do think we can attack the highs as long as we maintain this area here. We're coming back to retest it now, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how we do develop here. Do we start to see some wicks? Do we start to see some rejection? Or is this not looking too good? I mean, I would say on the hourly chart, this looks pretty corrected to me, so that's a good sign. But we do need to start finding some strength now for the dollar. But yeah, provided that we do, I am pretty bullish on the DXY. Starting to form some nice higher lows here as well. Can we find the next one? Okay, so we'll go through. So I just went through the DXY. We can take a look at Euro, UJ, Gold, and 15 for Yusuf. What is Zentrix AI? Can you tell me more? Of course. So yeah, it's a project we've been working on for the past, well, at least since the turn of the year, so quite a few months now. It's a project kind of built around utilizing AI and AI tools to help kind of help the journey of retail traders and anyone who is interested for that matter. But it's a project working around building AI trading bots, building AI tools to develop indicators, trading strategies, and we're looking to kind of incorporate that and hopefully take that into trading perps, into trading perps on our own trading platform as well. At the moment, a lot of those things are in the works, but we have launched the perps trading platform that's available to trade with. I do have some videos on the channel which can kind of explain that in a bit more detail and how to use the platform as well. But Zentrix AI is just a tool for traders to start to really look to work with AI, whether you want to develop your indicators, develop trading bots, develop trading strategies, all of that and a lot more is involved in that project. So if you're kind of looking to see, okay, what the future of trading could look like, well, AI is probably going to play a big part in that. And the goal of the project to kind of bridge the gap between the future and the now for traders looking to use AI in their trading. So if you're interested with getting to know how AI can help your trading journey, whether you want to develop some bots or you want to develop some indicators, if you have an idea of an indicator that you want to develop and you don't know how to write code, well, AI can do that for you as well. And that's what Zentrix is all about. So yeah, so it's an exciting project. I think it's definitely one for the future. And there's a lot more coming underneath that project as well. But yeah, if you have any questions, just drop it in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them. In terms of Euro USD, UJ and gold, we'll take a look at that on the 15. So Euro USD on the 15 minute, no, 15. Actually, let me go take a look at a different, because I don't want to delete this, but I do want to remove this out of the way. So I'm going to take a look at Oanda on the 15. Because I don't want to remove that. So yeah, Euro on the 15. Interesting stuff here. So it looks like we swept these lows. We kind of tested this nice area of demand here. That's kind of giving us a bit of a rally. So on the 15-minute chart, we have put these lower highs in. 1, 2, perhaps we could be putting a third one in. In fact, that would be very nice as well. That's kind of our area of supply. So I would suggest something like this for an opportunity. And if I connect the lower high, 1, 2, 3, I think that would look really, really good there. So yeah, for Euro USD, I would say that we've come off a very nice area of demand. We've tested some key lows and we're seeing a strong reaction to that. So in terms of a short bias, this is really where it would make sense. So I would wait for price to get there around 1.167 and then look for opportunities to potentially spot a lower high there. Wicks, rejection, double top patterns, and look for entries there back into support, and maybe we'll go from there. But this is quite a convincing reaction. Nice double bottom, strong shift to the upside. Yeah, I would say that would be the area of focus for shorting opportunities. If you were in a buy from here, I think that's a really nice entry for a buy. But I wouldn't do anything now until we get there. But a 50-minute chart, looking to follow that bearish structure and probably some shorts around 1.167. In terms of UJ on the 15, not much to say there for UJ, I must admit. Especially on the 15, I kind of view it as a bit of a consolidation, really. So unless you're looking to buy low or sell high, I haven't seen much of an opportunity. In fact, yesterday I think we were trading around here. I suggested if price was to rally back into resistance again, that could be a nice place for a short, or push back into the low again, that could be a nice place for a long. Right now we're kind of in between all of that, so I wouldn't really do anything in this area. So again, if we were to push into resistance, short, just like we reacted last time, I think that's a nice place for a short. And likewise with the buys down there as well. But It's very, very flat right now for UJ. I would personally stay away in the 15. I can see, yeah, there are some lower highs here, but I wouldn't get too carried away, especially now we're kind of in the middle of the range where a lot of noise, a lot of chaos could happen. So I would stay away from that for now. But from a swing bias, I quite like the opportunities. Buys around 145, shorts around 147. I think they make the most sense to me. So that's really where my focus has been with UJ, but in the middle, there's a lot of chaos, so I'll stay away. And in terms of gold and the 15, I think shorts make the most sense for now. We do have somewhat of some bearish structure here. Lower highs starting to develop, so I can see a bit more of a trend, breaking lows continuously. We've seen some nice reaction at the buys, but nothing in terms of like a big move or with a lot of conviction. So I would wait for a pullback, and I've marked this area of supply out around 33, 35. I think that remains a smart level for a sell as well. Somewhat of a trend line connecting the dots there too. So again, I think I would still keep it short and sweet for gold here. I wouldn't look for a big swing. I have marked out this as a significant low to pay attention to. Let's say if you can get some shorts at this level, I think that would be a really smart first target. Then let's say if you can break through that, then of course maybe the lows there could be a nice secondary target to have. But because of the nature of the market, it's still being very corrective. I know we're slightly trending down, but I can see a world where potentially even find support here and push back up again. So I would be quite cautious of that. But intraday, shorts make the most sense as long as we can maintain this bearish structure. If of course we do rally through that and break out, then of course I wouldn't look to take any shorts anymore. But if you can push into that, reject it well, yeah, I think that's a nice place for a short. We can see some more downside off the back of that. So that's where my focus would be, at least intraday. But yeah, still not the biggest fan of gold. Very, very sideways, especially the location where we're trading. Not really an area which I want to be operating into too much, to be honest. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on the 15. I mean, again, the 50-minute time frame is a pretty useful time frame. It's not too slow. It's not too slow. It's not too quick. But at the same time, it's quick enough to get the ball rolling. And in terms of opportunities, can be really a nice time frame to take advantage of intraday opportunities, even intra-session as well. So I like what the 50-minute chart gives me. It's been a while since I traded it. I focus more on the 4-hour chart. But I do like the 15 in terms of the market structure. I think if I was going to go intraday, I would probably choose 15 in terms of the time frame to trade. And it's not because it's like a magical time frame. It's just that I like the way it moves. And yeah, I like the way it moves. And personally, I probably wouldn't go lower than the 15. No problem, Yusuf. Happy to help. With that Aussie dollar sell-off. To be fair, I'm not even selling Aussie dollar Lighton. I am not selling. But what's up, Lighton? Welcome to the chat. Have I said hello to you? I'm not too sure. Have I said hello to you? I don't know. If I haven't said hello, what is up, Lighton? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, I'm not in Aussie dollar, unfortunately. That's probably one of the better USD pairs to trade because Aussie's been so weak. At the moment, I'm currently short on Euro dollar though, and silver. No problem. Happy to help. Poppy, looks like my USD NOK trade should have taken profits last night. What's happening with USD NOK? It's been a while since I've had a look at this guy. Actually, I can't remember the last time I looked at USD NOK, to be honest. Yeah, can't remember. So I'm guessing you win some buys, Poppy. I'm guessing you in some buys because, of course, the market is looking a tad bearish at the moment. I mean, yeah, we have made our way back into resistance. I would imagine maybe your targets were here. That's probably why you held onto the trade, because you're probably looking for a push to 10.35. And I would probably be looking at a push as well. Let's say if I did take a buy over here, I probably would be looking at a push at least to the highs there. But I probably would be watchful of this level. And after seeing a rejection like that, I'm not too sure if I'll close the whole trade, but I probably would take some profits. Just to reduce risk and pay myself, because of course maybe price does push back down again, and I probably would move stops to break even, and I'll just leave the rest to run. Maybe we do reverse and push back to highs, or maybe price does come back down against me and takes me out for a small win. But yeah, if I was in a trade there, I probably would be looking at a push to the highs. I'm guessing that's where your targets probably were. USDZAR, no problem, Lighten. We can take a look as well. LFTJ. Okay, we can take a look at Ethereum in a downward channel. Okay, you sold at 46.67. Okay, we can have a look. Of course, with the breakout. Okay, no problem. Bought at 4 o'clock, so I'm guessing 4 o'clock yesterday. So that closed at 2. 4 o'clock would be somewhere around here, maybe. I actually I don't know. Is it 4 o'clock my time? If it's 4 o'clock my time, then you bought somewhere around here. It's at break even. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, after a rejection like that, if it's at break even, I probably would get out the trade, to be honest. I probably wouldn't try and hold it and hope that it does push up, because that is a pretty significant rejection. I mean, like I said, if I did buy it in a similar area to you, I probably would expect to push the highs as well. But then again, I want to react to what the trade is giving me, and that's a pretty strong rejection. I must admit, that's a pretty strong rejection. So I probably would close and maybe hope to get in later. Let's say if we do rally and push back down and start to show some buys again, then I'll look to re-enter. That's just how I would tackle it, not necessarily what you should do. Do what you think is best, but that would be my 2 pence. Anyway, USDZAR. So we had a look at this one yesterday, and I mentioned I am still pretty bearish on USDZAR, but it does rely on us breaking through support here. And if we do eventually break through support, then I'm looking for a push back to the low at 17.06. So if we do manage to break support, this is my target for USDZAR. Of course, that's not the case. We're still respecting it pretty well. I did mention yesterday, because this is still a very critical level of support, buy still makes sense. Although I would suggest, though, we are looking quite corrective, and we're not really seeing much strength. When we did reject here previously, we did see a lot of strength. Now this is looking pretty slow. I wonder if this is just going to push up slightly just to come back down again. I mean, this doesn't affect the sells. The sells do rely on us breaking support. So whether we have a big move and come back down or a small move doesn't really matter. The key thing is the break of the support level, and that will really validate the shorts. In terms of the buying opportunities, because of how corrective we are looking right now, I wouldn't look to try and hop in at the highs here. Not seeing much strength. I would say if we can push back down again, maybe double bottom, that could be something of interest for a buy. All we're looking for essentially is a strong rejection of the low to support some longs, or a break of the low to support some shorts. At the moment, yeah, initially nice reaction, but now we're quite corrective. Unless you're already in a long position, I would sit and hold and just see how we develop. If not, I'd wait for another push into support, then take some buys off that. And if we do get a breakout, great. Let's take some shorts, and the next target will be 17.06. So I can see price going both ways, but not a lot at current price, I must say. Okay, where was we? Ethereum, I'll take a look for LFTJ hourly short trade on the downward channel. We will take a look at that as well. Malik, how long do you think is too long to demo trade? Good question actually. Well, if you're talking about from a complete beginner, I would say again, the purpose of demo trading is to really understand what you're trading and the technique of trading. You know, demo trading isn't going to take you from an unprofitable trader to a great trader, because a big part of trading well is dealing with the live conditions of emotions, floating profit of actual value, and managing that live. That's really the difficult bit, because you're trading the same market essentially. So demo live, there is no difference apart from actual money involved and actual real emotions being involved. So in terms of actually becoming a good trader, you do need to get good at trading live, even if it's with very small amount of money. At least you have some stake in the game and actually experience those emotions to a degree, and that will actually make you a much better trader. Demo trading is just good in terms of mastering the technique. Why are you buying here? Why are you selling here? How are you going to manage the trade? All of those components are good to be done on demo, because you're just purely focusing on actually the technique of trading. So I would say if you're talking from scratch, I would say give yourself a good 6 months on demo. And then when you can, open up a live account of pretty small value, something you can afford to lose. And that's really where you're going to get your experience, and that's really where you're going to get your your education in terms of managing live money and managing live emotions and emotions in that degree. So I would say 6 months, because 6 months is probably more than enough time to actually master a technique of trading, and you don't have to rush anything. That's more than enough time. And then from there, you should really be trading live, even if it's very, very small. Because you're not going to really gain much from demo if you continuously attack demo. Demo is only just to refine how you're going to get involved in your trades. Once you got that down and you know how you're going to trade, then you need to start putting some money behind it to actually get that real experience. So I would suggest 6 months. I mean, you can always have a demo account open. You can use it to test ideas. I mean, I sometimes do that. But if you're talking about exclusively trading demo, I wouldn't do it for more than 6 months. 6 months is more than enough time to learn a strategy. And I'm not saying to learn a strategy to a high level, but at least know how you're going to buy and sell. Okay, we'll go through LFTJ's Ethereum trade. Savvy, what's my opinion on Euro on the hourly chart? Just entered the sell at 1.1657. Okay, we can take a look at Euro next. Honestly, think New Zealand yen is probably the best pair to go short on. Please check it out. Okay, we'll take a look at New Zealand yen as well. Demo account is similar to on-job training. Yeah, I agree. You're training for the actual position, but you're not actually doing it live yet. There's not anything on stake or at stake yet. So I do definitely agree. I think it's good in terms of seeing what you're actually going to do, because you don't want to jump in straight to live trading. Although I bet probably most people do that anyway, because demo trading isn't fun, because any profit you make is not real. Why not actually put some profit on the line and make some real money? That's probably the first thought a lot of people have, and I can see why. But in terms of actually trading, yeah, I think it's good to improve the skill set, then go live. How about funded instead of demo? Yeah, I think funded as well is similar to live. Of course, you're trading in demo conditions, but there is money at stake. Either the profit you pay, the amount you paid for the account, or if you are funded, then of course the payouts that are at stake are real live payouts as well. So that can be classed a bit more as live, of course, with the conditions of demo, but there's actually something on the line, because the only difference between live and demo is what's at stake really. You're still trading the same Euro USD chart, of course, in demo conditions. but you're still trading the same chart. Of course, if you're a bit more intraday, I would keep an eye on spread, because sometimes in demo you can have just no spread at all, and that could impact actually your actual trading ability. Because if you're trading with no spread, let's say if you're a scalper, your spread is going to play a big part in the live conditions, and you didn't really take that into consideration in the demo conditions, so do be careful of that. But in terms of anything else, it's pretty much the same. So yeah, you do want to get into the live and start really feeling the emotions and really feeling the live capital at stake, because that's really what's going to improve your trading. Okay, so let's take a look at Ethereum. So you said you're short on the hourly chart. Let's have a look, see. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so I can see why you're short. I suggest it's probably this channel here. Let me just check. Sold at 46.67. No, you sold up here somewhere. You sold over there, targeting 34.78. Okay, looking for a pretty big move here. Okay, let me have a look at this. I mean, I'm pretty bullish on Ethereum, so I'll be quite cautious with the shorts, because this is a pretty big level that price will have to break through, or at least spike through, to go and hit your level, hit your take profit. So I would be quite watchful of this area, because if I was looking to buy Ethereum, it would be here. And I'll imagine a lot of people looking to pick up some longs on Ethereum at the retest of this level. And of course, that is, quite some distance away from your take profit. Nothing wrong with having a take profit there, but just being able to kind of monitor the position. Okay, if I start to see some strength come from this area, maybe I look to lock in some gains or trade a stop or manage my position in some way, shape or form, would make some sense. But yeah, I'm actually quite bullish on Ethereum. We do have a pretty convincing trend at play. Price is testing some key structure support, so I would be pretty bullish. I know intraday we've seen somewhat of a bearish trend here, but I wouldn't get too carried away with that. I do think this is pretty much a characteristic of a pullback. It's quite corrective, quite choppy. I do think at some point in time we will get that break to the upside and see a continuation. So that's really what I'm favoring for Ethereum. I could be wrong. Maybe price does break through and sinks and goes and hits your take profit. I'm not the oracle, so I can't say with certainty what price will do, but that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting price to bounce here and continue higher. I would probably wait for some more development, because at the moment there isn't much indication apart from that bullish move there, but I would suggest that there's a good chance we do find support. So yeah, I would be careful at that area. If I was shorting looking for the same move, that would be an area which I'll be prepared to potentially close the trade early, especially after catching a decent move. If you sold from 46.67, you already caught a decent move there. I wouldn't put that at risk just because I want to try and hold through such a big level. So yeah, I'll be careful of that. Okay, so let's go through Euro USD. So Euro USD, I'm currently short on this one. I'm looking for a move back into the low here. What was your question? You're short Euro USD in the hourly chart from 1.1657, 1.1657. So that's around here, just slightly above my entry. Yeah, I mean, the main reason why I hopped into a short is because it looks like we've broken out this ascending channel, sort of had a bit of a retest and starting to see some momentum with the bears here. So this is the ascending channel, nice kind of corrective uptrend. We tested a really big area of supply, of course, previously where a lot of bearish momentum came from. We tested the area, got the breakout. Now momentum looks good. Now I'm expecting a push into this low or this low. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing with Euro USD. A lot of bearish momentum. Actually, not a lot. We're seeing some. I shouldn't say a lot. We're seeing some bearish momentum. I'm still hoping we can pick up the strength actually. But yeah, I think it looks good. You hopped into the hourly chart, so I would suggest maybe your stop loss is above the high here. Maybe I think if it's there, that's an appropriate place. Let me know where your targets are, how far you're looking to hold the position. But yeah, I have the same bias as you. We've seen the break of the channel. Let's see if we can get that continuation. And New Zealand yen, you said, is the best pair to short at the moment. I think yes, but I would wait for a pullback because, of course, this is such an aggressive move off the back of the New Zealand news we had in the early hours of the morning. So I wouldn't take a short now. I think the market is far too stretched to be shorting now unless you're looking for a very small intraday move, because, of course, there's a lot of bearish momentum at the moment. So you might catch a little bit more of that bearish momentum. But I wouldn't be looking for a big move because we are quite stretched at the moment. But if we do pull back, sure, I think shorts make sense. A push back into 86.697, roughly. Anywhere between this low and that low, I think is a smart place to short. And yeah, I do like what we're seeing. Lower highs, momentum in these bearish legs. I do think a bit more downside is likely. I've marked out this area as a smart place where maybe the buyers could get back in and where we could see some bullish strength, bullish pressure come back into the market. It's not the strongest area of demand, but it is actually technically our low, which gave us this high. So that is an important area for New Zealand yen. But at the moment, yeah, I can see the reasoning behind the shorts there. A lot of conviction to the downside, but I would wait for some pullbacks. I wouldn't be shorting right now, unless again you're looking for a very, very small move. I'm a great demo trader. It's annoying. See, the thing is, if you're a great demo trader, a lot of people go, oh, you're really good at demo trading, but shocking live. The thing about that is, if you're really good at demo trading, you can just very much, you're almost there really, because of course, the reason why you're not replicating those results live is because, of course, there's actual money at play, so you're a bit more emotional. That jeopardizes your trading. You're getting out of trades too early, holding on too long, maybe taking some positions you shouldn't take. Yada, yada, yada. We get it. But if you can just mirror what you're doing on demo and take it to live, of course, maybe some degree of difference, but you'll be seeing similar results really. So it's easier said than done, but essentially you just got to take those same kind of the way you're thinking, monitor kind of how you're thinking during a demo trade. You're not really too concerned about the profit and loss. You're more concerned about the trade. Try and mirror that thinking when you are live. Of course, easier said than done, but that's really the secret sauce, really, because if you can take that same approach, that same mental clarity you're having when you're demo trading, take it to the live. Of course, there will be some difference as well. There is still money on the line, so it's not going to be a perfect transition, but it will solve quite a lot of your problems. But yeah, easier said than done. But the thing is, if you can trade well in demo, it means you've got the skill set, you've got the approach. Now you just need to focus on keeping that mind clear, not overthinking things. Leslie, I love this stream session because I also get to learn a lot while engaging with the content. Please don't ever stop. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's a really nice message. I'm glad you guys are finding it useful, finding it informing and learning along the way. I mean, that's the point of the streams, because of course a lot of the focus of the streams is analyzing the current markets, sharing my opinions, any trades I'm in. Of course, you guys doing that as well. But of course, just kind of giving little nuggets there and here and there of experience I've had recently or throughout my trading journey, and any tips and educational pointers that can help you guys out. And of course, there's other people on the stream as well who had experience in the markets, who traded for many years, and they could actually add some experience and some advice to the streams and make it a bit more inclusive as well. But that is good to see that you're enjoying it. And if you are enjoying it, please be sure to drop a like. It does really help out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed and liked. Share it with your friends as well. And of course, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. And if you do want to support the channel further, you can join the memberships. I've recently launched that. There are members exclusively only videos there, as well as posts and access to early videos as well. So if you do want to support the channel further, check out the memberships if you want to. Yeah, that's true. In demo, you're not concerned about blowing. Again, as long as the thing about demo as well, you can kind of do stupid things in terms of risk a huge amount of the account and double your account overnight. So you could do that as well. And I'm not saying copy that type of trading into live, because that's just stupid. But if you can trade like in a systematic way, risk manage well, consistent approach in a demo environment, and then copy and paste that to live, that's where that's where it's at. If you're just kind of taking random trades in demo, and then you want to copy and paste that onto live, of course you're going to get punished eventually. You haven't been punished in demo yet, but you will be punished for that. But if you can have a structured approach, risk managed approach, with a consistent trading plan, with a consistent management plan as well, and you can see clear results in demo, then you want to copy and paste that live. Really, that's essentially the aim of the game, really. But of course, yeah, easier said than done. But yeah, if you're just flinging random trades onto your demo account and it's playing out, yeah, that's great, but yeah, there's no consistency with that, really. And of course, you won't be concerned about blowing up either, because you can just create a new trading account straight away. No problem, Dmart. Happy to help. My demo was trying to flip $10 for a Lambo. That's how I learned trading psychology. That I did manage pushing 200 to 400, then blow. Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, if you've got a demo like that, then of course that's just messing around, really. If you're gonna demo trade properly, you want to trade it like it's a live account. Very strict set rules, max loss, max amount of trades for the day. Create a watch list, trade those pairs that you analyzed. A systematic approach. If you can do that demo, then yeah, you can copy that live. But of course, if you're going to try and flip whatever to whatever, yeah, it's you're asking for trouble there. You might not blow up demo by sheer luck, but you're going to blow up live eventually. Yeah, the replay function is very, very useful. Very, very useful on TradingView. I know, $10 to Lambo is crazy. I love how Lambo is just not like a monetary amount. It's just a Lambo. $10 to Lambo. Anyway, guys, we have approached the end of the stream. As always, guys, I do appreciate each and every one of you tuning into the stream. It does make the stream for what it is, so thank you to yourself. If you have found the stream useful, again, drop a like. It does really help out. And subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. I will be live again tomorrow, as always, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time. So if you're free, make sure you pop in, come say hi, even if it's just for 5 minutes. You can come and say hi and chill with us for a little bit. But guys, really appreciate you tuning in to the stream. I will be live again tomorrow. If I do get into any new positions, I'll let you guys know. At the moment, just currently in some shorts in euro, shorts in silver, and some longs on pound Aussie. And I probably don't see myself entering another trade this week, but we'll see. Things can change quickly. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Introducing Zenthrix AI-powered trading signals service. Tired of second-guessing your trades? Zenthrix AI scans the markets 24/7 with powerful, proven indicators built to give you clarity. You get 200+ signals every day on 15-minute, 1-hour, 4-hour, and daily charts. We cover Forex, crypto, commodities, indices, and stocks, so you're covered no matter what you trade. And the best part, you get all this delivered 3 ways, every day. Web alerts give you fast, clean access right from your dashboard. Telegram delivers real-time entries, confidence levels, sentiment, and trade duration. And email gives you the full breakdown, including 2 profit target levels and deep market analysis. Just hold $5 worth of ZTR. See what you can achieve with powerful AI trading intelligence by Zentrix. Try it now. And join our Telegram channel.